Welcome to Concise Conversations, episode 3 with Kathy and Jackie. Today we have Taylor Somerville, with founder of Symmetry, and he's going to be talking to us about managing stress. So as usual, I'm going to step in the background and kick it over to Kathy.
Thank you, Dakota. We are so delighted to have another session of Concise Conversations. The purpose is really to connect with our network members and bring them information and good cheer. And Taylor, we're just delighted that you're our guest today. Jackie, you know Taylor much better than I do. Why don't you introduce him and ask the first question?
I'll do that, Kathy. It's my real pleasure to have Taylor with us this afternoon. I can say that I have known Taylor almost all of his life, and I can vouch for him. Taylor has been my teacher of late. Like many of you, I have taken advantage of some of my extra time to learn new things. From Taylor, I have learned a lot about breathing that I've realized I knew very little about before. You know, Taylor, I've been particularly interested in why breathing or controlling our breath is so important to us and for our health. And I wonder if you would share with our guest some of the reasons why breathing is important, or being aware is important, and how we can begin kind of being more intentional in that area.
I'd love to. Thank you for having me, Kathy and Jackie. It's a pleasure to be on with everyone today. The brain reason breathing is so important is it is the only thing in our body that is automatic, yet it's also under our control. It's the first and last thing we do, and we do it roughly 15 to 20,000 times a day. And it is under our control because it gives us a direct connection between, our thoughts, our how we can change our mental and physical state is using our breath, by whether we're slowing down our inhales and exhales, whether or not we're breathing through our nose or breathing through our mouth. Plays a big role in the way our nervous system, if we're in the stress sympathetic overdrive, which is that fight or flight, which is what a lot of people are in most of the time in this day and age. And when you're breathing into your mouth, into your upper chest, it's really causing a lot of issues in your health, but also in your mental capacity and how you think, and the anxious thoughts that come up, worrying, that in turn raises your heart rate, raises your blood pressure. Slow it down, breathe through the nose, activates the diaphragm, allows you to get more oxygen into your system. It also just slows the mind down, and it gives you that little space between stimulus and response, so you can respond instead of reacting in stressful situations. And an easy thing you can do is just become aware of how you're breathing, checking in with your breath for a minute every hour. Just find where you are breathing. Do you breathe into your upper chest? Are you breathing with your mouth open a lot? Try to slow it down. Breathe through your nose. Breathe down into your belly. Think about breathing horizontally as opposed to vertically. Those are very just easy things that you can do to take away and see how that changes your feeling when you do it.
Wow. Breathing horizontally. I'm going to have to think about that. That really is a very good image, Taylor. Now when we think about parents and teachers and students, their world has been really kind of turned upside down. And they're now sitting like we are right now in front of a laptop, and that often can cause a lot of stress. What advice do you have for teachers, parents, and students as they're trying to slog through this difficult time?
That is right. Always being connected. That's another issue in this time where we're always on the screen. We're always looking, and our eyes have a lot to do with what state of our nervous system is as well. If we are in this intense focus, that puts us in a more stressful state. So just stepping away from your computer, going outside, getting a little more panoramic with your vision, that allows you to also calm down and relax. And whether kids, like, look at them and see how they're breathing, because mouth breathing is very much associated with ADHD. There's a lot of research out right now discussing that, how breathing affects, childhood development, facial structures in your jaw as well, and get them to breathe slowly in through their nose, or just first starting having them breathe through their nose. And then a technique that I like to give kids and parents that they can use at any time, we call it Take 5, and that's just taking your hand and tracing it out slowly inhaling as you go out to your finger through the nose, and then slowly exhaling as you come back. And that's just 5 breaths. And you want to try to inhale for 3 to 4 seconds and then exhale for about 5 to 6. You want to just extend that exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. That's a way to calm the mind, calm the body, slow the heart rate. And so in that 5 breaths, just try to do it as slow as you can. And they can do it under the table. They don't have to, nobody has to see that you're doing it. So it's a very easy technique for kids to use.
Wow, Taylor, I never thought about when I was trying to be a good classroom manager that maybe just helping my students become more aware of their breath. And maybe, as you say, just taking 5.
Mm-hmm.
We know that there are a lot of teachers in our audience today. I wonder if there's any other advice you would give them when they're back in their classroom, or maybe even give them to share with students if our days of having screen teaching and learning continue or resume.
Another technique, I would just advise them, spend a couple of minutes at the very beginning to just focus on their breath. A quick technique that is actually the military uses, special forces. So these guys are elite high performers. They use it to calm their mind down. It's called box breathing. And what we're doing in there is we are just inhaling into what's the 4 corners of the breath. So you have an inhale, a hold, an exhale, and a hold, and just following it out like a box, tracing it out. And we're going to inhale equally. We're going to inhale for 3, hold for 3, exhale for 3, and hold for 3. And just do that for a couple of minutes and see how that changes the mentality of the students, calms them down, or before yourself. Before you go in there teaching, it's a great way to just kind of get a little clear focus before everything comes at you.
Taylor, I'm so interested in all of this. How did you get involved in this? What caused you to really start being aware of your own breathing and then help those of us that need more help in breathing correctly?
Well, I was in the investment world for 15 years, actually on a trading floor, macroeconomic trading, traded interest rates, very high stress life. And with the stress personally and professionally, I began using these techniques and found out how much they helped me, how I dealt with anxiety, how I dealt with worry, just my mental thought capacity. I was very reactionary, slowed me down, made me much calmer. And I decided that, I needed to go out and spread this message to as many people as I could. So 3-4 years ago, I left my job and began coaching these methods since then.
Taylor, it's really made a difference for me for these 6 weeks that I have been learning from you. And I just want to say the box breathing that you described, I have begun routinely each morning when I get up, following a little 8 to 10 minute exercise that actually I access as an app on my phone for free, where you lead me through these morning exercises. And when I don't do this, I can tell a difference in my day. So I wonder if you would share with our listeners any other simple techniques, or maybe comment on why I do feel better starting my day with intentional breathing.
That is one of the things I do first thing in the morning as well. And it's just a way to kind of center yourself before the day, before you have everything coming at you. It's kind of a way to get your mind in front of that and get you in a much calmer, focused state. And just fitting a little intention to your breath allows you to access the frontal part of your brain where the more logic and reasoning is, as opposed to the reactionary, more emotional aspects of your brain. So it just puts you in that state before the day begins. Another technique that I like to give people is just, you want to inhale for 4 seconds and try to exhale for 8. Just doubling of your exhale to your inhale, little pause at the top of that inhale. And that's a great way to calm yourself in any stressful situation. It's great to do before bed, 3 to 5 minutes while you're laying in bed, instead of your thoughts worrying about what tomorrow brings, or regretting maybe something you did during the day. Just spend a few minutes focusing on your breath and help go to sleep, because we all know how important sleep is for our general health. And so that's another improvement in your health right there.
That's a great tip to just know when you're restless and you can't really settle down for sleep. I'm going to try that. Thank you. So we've got on Tuesday, you're going to do a session for folks, and Dakota will put up a slide in a minute, but tell us what, I believe it's at 12 on Tuesday for 30 minutes. Tell us what people might experience if they participate in this free event that you're going to put on for us.
Yeah, so Tuesday at noon, I'm going to be doing a virtual breath class. We're going to discuss more about stress and how it influences the body, how you can use the breath along with other techniques to help use stress to grow, because it's not that stress is a bad thing per se, and a lot of people make it bad, but stress is just a stimulus, and we really only grow and adapt by stress, but you have to learn how to use it in a proper manner. So we'll discuss that. Then we will do about a 15-minute guided breath session. Really get you nice, calm, and relaxed by the end of that. Jackie's done a lot of these with me. And then I'll open it up, answer questions, and give you guys some follow-up and things you can do at home.
Yeah, I think it's important that our listeners know this will be a session just for them. It's not wide open to people who are already pros at this. I was a little intimidated the first time I did a lesson, but Taylor is a good teacher, and he lets you begin where you are. So
yes,
I think that many of you will join us on Tuesday. It should be fun.
Everybody can do it. It'll be nice and relaxing, and you can do it just seated in your chair, or if you want to lie down while we do it. Everybody's a little different, and it'll be your journey and what you bring to it. Just bringing an open mind, and I think you'll come away feeling great.
Well, Taylor, we are so grateful to you for talking with us today and introducing the important concept of being both aware of your breathing and to use it to calm yourself and become a very happy, very healthier person. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Back to you, Dakota.
All right. So I learned a lot with that. I hope you all did too. Again, I think Stony is going to put the link to register for this session in the comments of the live stream. When we post the full video of this, we will also post the link there, along with a couple of resources where you can learn more about Taylor and the services that he offers. So be on the lookout for those. And next week, we are going to be with Christy Goodwin. So at 1 p.m. on Friday next week, we're going to be with Christy Goodwin from Oxford City. And she will be just discussing in general how their school district at the district level is responding to the distance learning. So please tune in at 1 p.m. on next Friday. And if you would like to suggest a topic or be a guest host, as always, email me at dakota@aplusala.org. Thank you all so much for tuning in for our third installment. I'm so glad that our live stream was interruption free this time. Woohoo! And I hope you all have a really good weekend.
Thank you again, Taylor.